All right, welcome back. We are working on the C10 again. Well, at least what's left of it. Anyway, so it's been a little while since I gave an update, since I filmed on this, and I've done some work, a lot of work off camera. Got the engine is fully bolted together. Boy, does it look good. I am super excited about it. I got it dropped in the frame. I got my short tube headers all stuck on it. Transmission is on.
Done.
Missing a transmission mount. I've been looking for that. Parts store doesn't have the right one. Let's see what else. I got the gas tank put back in it. All right, I got the fuel lines on, all here. Factory fuel lines, all tucked up in the frame rail, just like they were from the factory. And you have to excuse the little line on the screen. We cracked the screen protector and I haven't been able to replace it yet. But yeah, so all the fuel lines are in. All the hard lines for the brakes are, most of them are done.
And the tires below.
I gotta fix this one right back here. I gotta redo the brakes in here because, well, it's missing something right there. Pulled it apart. And yeah, this is the donor axle I bought off Facebook Marketplace. Kind of get what you pay for. Anyway, I gotta put emergency brake cables in those anyway, so I'll be salvaging those off the other axle. But lots of work to do, but I've gotten a lot done. I haven't filmed a lot of it because, quite frankly, it's kind of boring. Replaced the leaf springs, junkyard, of course. Cab is still sitting over here. I did flip it up on its back. We pressure washed and undercoated. I took a small clip of that to throw that in here. All right, one of the other things we did this cab, we just flipped the cab up on its back, like that, so I could wash the underside of it, right here, and I sprayed it with undercoating. So I like the look of that. Looks a lot better than it was. I didn't get any pictures before. It wasn't very great, but that looks good. Super excited about it. What we're working on right now is we're working on rebuilding the front end. This side's done. New ball joint in the top, new ball joint in the bottom, new brake line, new tie rod ends here and here. And we're just gonna get ready. We're gonna get going on this other side. We'll do a little bit of this work on the camera and I'll kind of go through it. But, all right, so I pulled the tie rods off this already. Then I was like, oh, I probably should film some of this. So then I broke this nut loose, broke the top one loose here. And I learned that you want to break these bottom one loose while you still got the top one in, or else you kind of have to put it back together. Because this one's actually, the spring is holding it up against that rubber right there. So we're gonna pop it. So there's quite a bit of tension on this thing pulling it apart. Do the same thing on the top, because then this helps them go. So let's see if it'll go.
It's blinking!
All right.
My ears hurt.
Let's get a bigger hammer.
I'll go get you the big hammer.
Go get it.
One.
See if the top one will go here. Top one went easy. Let's get that big hammer.
You want the big, heavy hammer?
Yes, please.
I'd be happy to help. Swing!
Thing weighs more than you, kid.
Nice, but
No.
it doesn't seem to weigh as much.
All right, a little bit bigger hammer here. Just want to keep from breaking my knuckle. Oh boy. It don't want to go. I know it's got tension on her. Turn it this way. Try hitting it from the other angle. Like this one. It went. It just popped. It's got my nut tight right there. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a jack under it. I'm going to set this A-arm on a 2x, so I don't have quite as much pressure on that shock, because that shock's the only thing holding that spring from going boing. So let's do that real quick. All right, pop these off. This one's gonna pop pretty good when it pops. Just like that. Now, let's weight on that bottom one. All right, slide that out there. Dust shield's bent. All right.
How'd it come out? That needs some treatment.
All right, spindle's off. Now we're gonna pop these ball joints out. This one's a press-in one. I think we're just gonna give it a roll. I got some boards tied under there. I may put a jack under here, we'll see. I think I'm just gonna give her a good old whack-a-doo and send her through. Should work. I think on the other side. Like that. Oh yeah. It's moving.
Woo!
Ball joint. That one's out. Okay. Now on the top one, I cut 2 of the rivets off. 2 more rivets I gotta finish grinding out. I'm gonna grind those out, then I'm gonna drive them through, and well, air hammer won't quite drive them through, so I actually have to drill out the center of them and then drive them through. So we'll get to that point. Okay, so you look here, I finished grinding the heads off of these. And then what I did is I just took a drill bit, 1/4-inch drill bit, and I went down the center of each one. What that does is it weakens the walls of that, and so you can knock them out. When I was hitting it with that air hammer before, they wouldn't even budge, they wouldn't even move. So let's hit it with the air hammer now that I got these out, and let's see if it goes. All right. By the way, I just bought this today. The first time I've ever really used one. These things are slick. Watch this. Watch this. That one didn't want to move. Let's see how this one goes. See? Just like that. Let's see how this one goes. Put a little pressure on that one. Just like that. Okay, so we're all set up. I threw some paint on this thing. Ball joints out, everything, right? We're getting ready to put this lower ball joint in. You know, to make fancy tools, ball joint presses and all that kind of stuff, to be able to press these in, and I could go over to O'Reilly's and rent it if I really wanted to, but you know what, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way. So what I'm doing is I'm heating up this lower control arm. I'm not getting it cherry hot. I'm not weakening it. I'm not doing any of that. Trust me. It's not getting very hot. It's not getting more than 200 degrees, if that. Okay? So don't want to hear it. Unless you're a metallurgist and you can actually
that's
tell
a lot
me.
of smoke.
And if you are a metallurgist, you know exactly what I'm doing. And we're going to warm it up a little bit. If I can get this thing up to 150 degrees, I've got the ball joint chilling in the deep freeze. It should be right around 0 or maybe a little colder. And we're going to go get that here in just a second.
A freezer.
You want to go get me the ball joint?
Where is it?
In the freezer.
What freezer?
The one by the door. Go get me the ball joint.
No, what's going to happen to the ball joint?
Alright, so while I'm heating this, my little helper is going to go get me the ball joint. I'm going to show you how we're going to press the ball joint in. The other side didn't go in quite as nicely. Just open the freezer, you'll see it sitting on the shelf. So, getting a little heat in her. So, about a 200-degree delta between the ball joint and the control arm here. So, we're gonna go ahead and turn that off. Gotta kind of hurry when we're doing this. Okay. I don't want to lose all the heat out of that. What this is gonna do, let's see if it just slides in. It does not. So, we're gonna use a press. Do what I want to do. So we're gonna go up. Like that, and we're just gonna get that like that. We're gonna put some pressure on her, and then we're gonna hit it with a hammer. So we're gonna hit on this a little bit, and that ball joint is gonna go in. So here we go. I might have to have the bigger hammer.
Hey, that didn't sound as bad when I covered my ears.
That wasn't bad. It actually started. I didn't have it too crooked when I started, and it straightened right up. Ball joints in. Bada bing, bada boom. In case you're wondering, this is my jack setup. These little car jacks are freaking awesome. Just like that. All right, so yeah, you can see the condensation on that thing because it's cold. We're gonna keep putting this together. So we'll go ahead and bolt our ball joint in the top here. We'll stick that spindle all back in. All right, upper ball joint is in. It just bolts back in. Don't have to rivet it, thank heavens. Lower ball joint's in. That is ready to go in here. So let's stick it in, see how this goes. Kind of got it sitting there. Got to pull the top and the bottom together, and I should make fancy tools for this. I'm going to use a ratchet strap. So what I'm going to do, I got it on the bottom ball joint. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of get the top pointed the right direction. Okay, it started in the hole, and we're just gonna pull it together. All right. So I backed the nut on the bottom down here, backed it off just a little bit. Hopefully, what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to lift this up to where I can grab a couple threads on the top. All right, so we got a couple threads on the top. Turn the light on, show you here. Hand the camera, Henry. All right, so we're not all the way on the bottom right down there. We only got a couple threads on. And then on the top up here, that bolt right there. Anyway, this one right here, we've got a few threads there. We've got a few threads there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start tightening those down. And what that's going to do is it's going to compress the spring, pull the ball joints together. And then I can take my sketchy ratchet strap off. So Don't know that I'd recommend doing it this way. Nah, I probably would. It works. Just don't kill yourself when those ratchet straps go boing. All right, we got her back together. So I just went ahead and threw these on there. They're nothing to it. You just gotta bolt them together. Top ball joint's in, this is in, brand new brake line is on, new ball joints, tie rod ends. This truck's gonna drive really nice when it's all done. So we're gonna probably squirt a little bit of grease in here, squirt a little grease in there, so I don't forget to squirt some grease in there. And yeah, that's about it. This one was actually, it wasn't very, it was tight and it wasn't, you could tell it wasn't greased, so definitely got to get some in there. But yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching. I'll continue to make videos on this, but a lot of it's going to be off camera. Just a lot of little tiny things to do on it. So, but big stuff, you know, I'll give you an update every once in a while, just to keep showing you what's going on. So thanks for watching.